Hey guys, Jim here with Simple Life. What I want to show you today is this. This is the Moen blade grinding fixture. This thing's pretty incredible. It's very expensive. And I've had it for about 3 months now. I've ground about 20 knives on it. And I just want to kind of show you how it works and what I think about it. So what are we looking at here? What we have is essentially a aluminum base plate. It has Teflon slider tape on the bottom. It has 2 handles that bolt in from the bottom on each side. Nice rubber, thick, grippy Madauber handles. And we have a couple other components. These here are support fingers. We have 1 at each end. And then this here's the main post. This is comprised of a couple parts. It's got one that is the actual blade clamp itself, carbide edged on both sides. And you see it's got this dovetail construction, dovetails right into that post. And then this screw is what locks it in. So if you're grinding on this side, why can I not do this? Slide it in. Boom, grind that side. When you're ready to grind the other side, you simply loosen it off. And everything is even from side to side. Tighten it up and you're ready to go again. Now, one real advantage to this system is that if I were to be grinding at the very end of this blade, there's a lot of possible deflection there, right? And especially as the knife gets thinner, it's kind of difficult to judge. You have to really adjust your pressure. Well, with this system, they give you these little support arms. Now, I'm gonna have to move this. Also, this thing is fully indexable. There's 9 dovetail slots. And again, all these just dovetail right in there, and they've got a lock screw in the bottom. Very well made, good quality. And so when I've got these fingers, I can slide them where I need the support. So if I were to be grinding this knife here, get that set up, boom, lock it in place. And then I can just bring this finger to the edge of the blade, tighten it down. And this is also quite adjustable. There's a lot of fine adjustment in here, as you can see. So I can bring that just so it touches the blade, lock it down, and now zero deflection at all. On this side, then when I go to grind the other side, obviously you have to set them up individually, but if I have it set up properly, and this one needs to go out just a touch, just bring it so it just touches. Boom, no deflection from side to side. Another huge advantage to this is that if I'm grinding this bevel, and say if this was the second bevel that I ground in, I previously ground this one, I can actually see the bevel I've put in the whole time I'm working on it. So if I want to get my calipers and just measure the height of that bevel, I can easily take that same measurement off this side without removing the knife from the jig, and that has proven to be incredibly useful. As far as the angle adjustment, that happens right here. So we loosen this sucker off and we can move this up and down. There's a little screw. Works best if you're reducing it. It will jack it up a little bit, but it kind of tends to bind a bit. But you can use this for precision adjustments, right? Just a little tweak here or there, get the exact angle you want, lock it in. And often to find my angle, what I will do is I will get my little angle cube and I will zero this out to my platen, and then there's actually enough metal there with these 2 screws that I can put my angle cube on there. And that way I can adjust whatever angle I want. So if that were 0, we could put whatever bevel we want on there. And then when we get the appropriate one where we want to grind to, lock it down, we're good to go. And that stays consistent from this side to this side as well. And again, this has carbide guides. You can fit blades up to, I'm gonna say, probably 1 3/4 inches on here. And as far as the length of blade goes, when you have it in the standard configuration, meaning the blade is in the center slot, generally I would say you could do about a 6-inch blade. So if I go to the edge of the carbide, 6 inches is right there. And again, we can put this thing down for support. You're not gonna get a lot of deflection within the last inch. Now, if you did have longer blades, you can move this post over this way. And I have found that it does reference itself very accurately to this angle. Again, I'd have to adjust these things, maybe move some of these. But when I do this, grind this long bevel, switch over to this side, and I flip the blade around, I cannot tell a difference in the angle from one side to the other when I'm doing this setup. So, you know, you can do pretty long blades. This is a 9.5-inch blade I did, and I actually did it in this jig, and it worked fantastic. I had my clamp over here, I had a support finger right here, and with a long thin blade like this, when you're grinding it, it's amazing how wonderfully it does at reducing that deflection when you're grinding. Another thing I've done is using these S grinds. So this was with a 36-inch hollow grind platen, and I set this up nice and even, kind of level, and I was able to put in this grind really nicely. And then also on a new project I'm working on, I had this piece of stock. This is a Damascus steel, and the billet I had was this thickness, and I didn't want to forge it out. I wanted to thin it down a little bit. This is obviously very thick for a spine of a kitchen knife, so I ended up setting the angle on my grinding jig here to 0. Put this in here, and I had some lines scribed, and you can see I reduced the thickness there. We go from here, and it looks like it was almost like an integral type of a grind. And I did that all on this, both sides very even, very consistent, and when I check the thicknesses, it is phenomenal. So now I've got thin stock that I'm ready to bevel. This will be an upcoming build collaboration video, but I did that all with this jig, and it just worked fantastic. So after a couple months of using this, I've put some pictures of this on Instagram. Actually, this image right here with this blade in here got flagged with this whole Instagram thing going on. Yeah, anyways, this also got flagged for sexual content. Yeah, thank you, Instagram. But I had a lot of people say, hey, could you do a video about that, kind of showing it? And so hopefully this gives you an idea. If you have any specific questions, leave them in the comment section below if you'd like a more in-depth video. But you will be seeing this in upcoming projects. And after about 20 blades, having this for like 3 months, I am super happy that I purchased this. There are some knives that I have that I've made specific grinding jigs for. Like if I'm doing a batch of 20, those wouldn't necessarily push me to get a tool like this. But when I'm doing one-offs, a knife that I've never made before, a custom knife, this takes so little time to set up for the exact grind that I want, the angle I want, and to be able to just continue on that blade through the grits, finishing grits, one side to the other side, always seeing the entire blade during the whole process is just huge, and I absolutely love it. This is a tool I wish I'd bought earlier. I've been looking at this for over 2 years. I saw it on sale for like 700 bucks Canadian, 800 bucks Canadian. Normally they're like $1,000, 1,000 Canadian pesos. They're not cheap at all, but for what I do, I'm really happy with it, and this is a well worthwhile investment. And I also have a lot of friends that I found out had these after sharing this on Instagram, and they've had them for like 2 and 3 years, and they say they use them every day and they have been rock solid. So that was good news to hear. But there's not a lot of videos here on YouTube about this, so there it is, the Moen blade grinding fixture. Moen Tooling makes really good stuff. This is made in the United States of America. It's from moenworks.com. And again, I have no affiliation. This isn't sponsored. I paid my money for this. No, nothing. This is just me showing you a product that I've been using for a bit, and I really like it. You might too. I tell you, if you do buy this, if you fork out the cash, you're gonna be really glad that you have this in your arsenal. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.